After I started making these videos, I've had a buddy of mine who keeps suggesting this one weapon that I was very hesitant to try out, but it's his favorite weapon, so I'm like, you know what, I'll see if I can make something work with it. After trying this behemoth, this monstrosity, this whatever you're gonna call it, I unironically had a lot of fun with the spear. So much so that I actually continued playing with it outside of recording just from how much fun I was having. Which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me specifically. This thing is debatably the worst weapon on the heavy class and maybe even in the entire game. So how in the world am I having fun with it? Well, that's the beauty of the finals. You can make any weapon viable no matter how trash it is. And boy, did I try to make this thing viable. Now, I'm going to try to follow the same outline that I had with the KS video where I'm giving it a review. I'm giving you some tips on how to be better with the weapon, but I'm also going to be begging Embark yet again to make this weapon better than it is currently. Now I'm going to be comparing this weapon to pretty much every other melee weapon in the game because, well, it's a melee weapon, so it's kind of hard not to. This thing has been slept on for a while, not because it's bad. It is bad, and overall it is the worst melee weapon to use, but ironically enough, it is probably the best weapon to use against other melees. There are a couple combos that I learned when testing the spear out to see if I was actually going to make this video into a reality, and I found some probably slept on tactics. I don't know if anyone else has noticed these, but I sure have, and I've been using them to the best of my abilities inside the game. The spear, like the sledgehammer and a couple other melee weapons, has a secondary attack as well as a primary attack. The primary attack being more of a quick attack where it does a solid amount of damage, and then the secondary attack being more of an AoE spin Bruce Lee action movie type of attack. The quick attacks being more reliable and more efficient towards single targets, while the AoE attack is better for groups of enemies. Now, why would I bring this up right after saying that it's really good against other melees when you're 1v1ing them? Never use a secondary attack when you're fighting one person and one person only. It may seem good, but it makes you extremely slow, and you can't cancel the attack. You have to wait for all three separate attacks to conclude before you do something else, like attacking with your quick attacks or using abilities or your specialization. You only really use it if you're desperate, like if you're going in for a suicide attack, or if like someone is rezzing, they get the res off, and then you're just swinging away, just praying to get a kill. Or you're serving as a distraction. There are a couple ways to use it, just not in a 1v1. And when you are in a 1v1, even if it's not with other melees, I found a couple combos with the winch claw that I found very helpful. When you're fighting with the quick attack side of the spear, you have 3 different values you do. It exponentially goes up from 65 to 80 to 90 damage with a swing, then a stab, then another stab. First 2 quick attacks are the most noteworthy ones due to their values. 65 plus 80 equals 145, which makes that value bring a light down to a sliver of HP and a medium down to roughly half. When combining this with the winch claw, makes it a kill for the lights with the winch claw itself and not your actual weapon, which is so weird to think about. When I use the winch claw with weapons other than the spear, then I'm like, oh shoot, the winch claw killed someone. That's not what it's supposed to do. Well, that's what it's supposed to do with the set. With the medium, it's a little different. You attack twice, you winch, you attack another 2 times, bam, it's another kill. And if you play it right, then it could be an easy one, just depending on how oblivious your enemies are. Comboing a heavy is a little more tricky. It depends on what kind of weapon they use. When it comes to fighting the spear's rival, the sledgehammer, I try not to use the winch unless they're at a sliver of HP to where I can easily follow up the winch with a quick attack. But usually I try to stay outside of the sledgehammer's effective range, making it practically useless because the spear does have a longer range compared to every other melee in the game. That includes the sledgehammer. Fighting the Lewis gun or the M60 can be tricky if there's a competent player on the other end of the screen. You're basically hoping that they just don't hit you. You try to utilize your winch claw to the best of your ability to stall their damage as much as possible so you can get more damage than them. And you can also combine that with a dome shield to help mitigate some of the damage that is thrown at you. You should of course utilize the dome shield with every other class, but it's even more important with these machine guns because of how much damage they can produce and how much damage you have to chip away at their health to kill them. Utilizing the combo quick attack 1, quick attack 2, winch, then keep going is honestly the only really viable way I found when playing an actual game of the final. There are a couple quick combos you could try to do. Like when attacking a medium, you could just attack 3 times with with the quick attack and then do a quick melee to kill them. But a lot of the time, your enemy is going to like you doing that, so they're just going to run away. And you are slower when you are attacking, so it's going to be hard to catch up to them. When you're fighting lights, you could do a quick attack 1, quick attack 2, quick melee to kill them. But with this dash being the meta for pretty much any light class, the winch is better in almost every way, in my opinion, from the range you have. There is another combo for the heavy, just like there is for light and medium, is yet again quick attack 1, quick attack 2, and then the secondary alternate fire, which does technically have a higher TTK against heavies, but it leaves you in a much slower state to where you can get drained from certain types of heavies or from their teammates if they're outside or they're just further away from you compared to their heavy teammate, and they could just beam you. They could absolutely destroy your health. And with only 2 out of the 3 swings from the secondary fire being necessary to kill the heavy, it still leaves you in that state of helplessness when you're not fighting anyone, but you're still swinging away, which does leave you open to attacks, and you just can't avoid them because you're still in that motion. All right, now with my concise, super helpful tips out of the way, I am going to get into some critiques, which is, I assume, what you all have been waiting for, my expert opinion. I have 2 main gripes with it. The necessity of having the winch claw with you for a decent playing strategy with the spear. You need the winch claw. There is no secondary option. To make the combos that I suggested work, you absolutely need it. There is no other way you can play with the spear. The buddy who mains the spear that inspired me to make this video, he does it with Mesh Shield. I actually legitimately have no clue how he does it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It makes sense only when it comes to running away, because you have no range. You can't cover yourself. But how can you get any kills without the winch claw? Now, it's not the individual winch claw that makes it so good. It's not like it's some sort of godly deity that you have to make the spear good. The spear is in this weird spot, at least when it comes to lights at the minimum, to where you can't up the damage values, because then the thing would be so extremely OP, it's not even fun to play against. If you make it a 2-shot against lights, there is no, like, the TTK of that is ungodly. It's almost as bad as the double barrel. I guess the devs can't just give it a static boost to his attack speed, but that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't like it when melees get that straight attack speed boost, even if it's something as much as I adore as the spear. It just doesn't really sit right with me for no good reason. It's the same situation with the riot shield and how they handled its buff. The spear is in this limbo of being good and bad, except it's heavily skewed towards being bad, and I can't really find in my big old brain of mine to how it can be better without making it unnecessarily OP. Other main issue I have with the spear is its secondary alternate fire. It is a continuous 3 attack phase of not being able to move, not being able to jump, turn, like basically anything except like attack. My change is literally just not make it continuous and only have it keep attacking while you're holding it down. And when you let go in the middle of attack, it just finishes out the attack that it's in the middle of doing. This could break the game. I'm not too sure. A Neanderthal like me doesn't have the foresight for something like this, so I'll leave it up to you guys. Other than those 2 main issues, I don't really have anything else big that I have against the spear, except for really one thing that isn't the biggest deal in the world. Even though you can attack melees very effectively with the spear from how long the range is compared to other melee weapons, it doesn't have that defining feature that other melee weapons do. I guess you could say the 3rd-person attack is the defining feature, but it's not good. I mean, at least with the dual blades, you can block. With the riot shield, you can literally just negate everything. With a dagger, you can one-shot people. Same thing with the sledge. Just another hit in the gut. The sledgehammer also destroys pretty much everything in the game. This spear needs something like that. When using this weapon, I found myself to be decently effective when fighting emerald players with this weapon. It is bad, but from the little combos I gave you, shouldn't do too bad with it. It's kind of hard to improve more unless you just improve your game sense overall, and that takes more time than just learning some combos. Because of the relative lowish skill ceiling that the spear does have, you can master the spear pretty easily if you implement some quick combos like some of the ones I suggested, or you improve your game sense to utilize those combos even more effectively than what I've been able to do. This weapon doesn't really have that much of a skill ceiling, really. Just puts like a dozen hours of practice into it and you'll become a god with it. The fun factor of this weapon is a solid 10 out of 10. I don't think any other melee weapon can compete with it when you're actually popping off with it. It's so much fun to just go nuts with. On the other hand, the actual viability with this weapon is probably a 4 out of 10. If you go up against a player who knows even a little bit about the game, you're going to get destroyed. It's kind of hard to outplay them unless you have like crazy good game sense. There are some select cases of some guys who are crazy good with it. I don't know if they're rubies or not. I don't think there are any spear rubies right now. If there are, go ahead and let me know in the comments, but I can't really find anyone who's crazy good with it. Either that or I'm just not searching hard enough. Go ahead and let me know. In general, this weapon is fun. Is it good? Not really. Is it fun? Absolutely. I'm really glad my friend suggested this video idea, because if he didn't, I don't think I would be able to have this much fun with this weapon that I probably would have used it again. Go ahead and try it out for yourselves. You guys might find your new favorite weapon. But go ahead and let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comments. If you guys like those suggestions I gave, go ahead. If you guys have any more suggestions that you non-Neanderthals can think of, go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think the spear does need. Especially if you tried it before, because I haven't really seen any other spear players besides my buddy here. So yeah, you guys have a good one.